Hi everyone, I first want to say thank you so much for watching this video today. Today, like you read in the title, I'll be teaching you how to study efficiently and effectively. Now these are scientifically proven tips and they are tips that I use myself, and I will be showing you exactly how they're going to work and how I use them as well. But before I get into anything, please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you did not, turn on my notification bell so you do not miss anything that I'll be posting on a Tuesday. But without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first step is to read instead of write. That sounds really absurd because almost everybody writes when they study. But when I say read instead of write, is read the notes first before you write anything. Because when I was in grade 8 all the way to grade 10, what I would do is I would open the textbook and then I'd read here and then I'd write. I'd read and I'd write, I'd read and I'd write. And that didn't help me at all. It was just time consuming, it was just tiring. Now why that doesn't work, it's because you put yourself in this position where you make yourself dependent on your notes, and that's why you don't remember anything because you just try and screenshot what you wrote. That is not going to work, it's not going to help. Now when I was grade 10, it kind of helped a bit because my brain was trained to do it already, but it was really time consuming, it was very tiring as well. But I really say read instead of write. Now how I came about this method was I heard a girl speaking about it in accounting once. She just said that I don't understand how people can write. Like, I need to read the notes. So what I did was I tested it for myself and I waited until my next test popped up and then I studied that way. What I did was, first of all, I studied from the textbook because I never studied from my notebook. I just don't do that. I always use a textbook because it's just more reassuring. So what you do is you read and read. You read through everything and then you read and read, and you read to understand as well. Because if you do this, it's in here. It's not on paper, it's in your brain. You're not going to forget it because everything you read that you understand, you're not going to forget. So the first step is definitely read instead of writing. And then secondly is understand the work. Now if you are studying work that you do not understand, you might as well tell the teacher, make my paper fail. You might as well do that because it is impossible to study work that you do not understand. You need to understand the work first because you are not going to remember everything that you do not understand. Because if you think about it, everything that you are struggling with at school now, if you think of exam paper and if someone had to ask you what part didn't you like doing, then you're obviously going to talk about the section you didn't understand. Now, how do you understand work? First of all, you need to listen in class when the teacher speaks to you. Now, when the teachers are speaking, you shouldn't speak as well because first of all, that is really disrespectful because they are sacrificing their time to help you and you are showing just how much you care about it. You don't care at all. So please listen in class. And second of all, if you do not understand something, go to your teacher. That is what they are there for. Do not be afraid to lift up your hand and say, ma'am or sir, I don't understand the work. You need to do it because teachers want you to ask them for help. That's why they are there. That's why they are teachers in the first place. So understand the work, definitely. And then thirdly, this is really optional, but I do it all the time, is to pray before you study. Now why I pray before I study, it gives me a lot of reassurance, and also I'm a very faith-based person, so it is important that I pray before I do anything important. But be careful with this. Don't be like a lot of people who pray and then they believe they're just going to pass. It's not like that. When you pray, then you should pray for endurance and pray that God helps you to work harder. So rather pray like that. Don't pray and say, make me pass, because that's manipulating, because it's just showing that you are just praying just to benefit from it. God is not going to help you like that. It really is not. So pray, but that's really optional. And then fourth is eat more protein-rich foods. Now this really helps. Now foods such as salmon, berries, dark chocolate, avocado and bananas, they increase the brain function a lot. But also you need to change up the way you eat a bit, because if you have an unhealthy diet, you are not going to remember most of the food, because food is important for brain function as well. So definitely eat more protein-rich food. And then fifth is exercise before you study. Now, when I say exercise, I don't mean anything hectic like weight training or cardio. You can if you want to, but don't do that if you aren't that type of person. Now, I always do this because I am trying to live a very healthy lifestyle, but also because it helps the brain function a lot. And I also read on this site on the internet that people who exercise before they study remember 30% more of the work that they did if they didn't study. So definitely just dance a bit, just become a bit wild, go for a walk or a little jog, or just be a bit active, but nothing hectic. Just just exercise a little bit before you do your studying. It really helps. Trust me, I do it all the time. And then sixth, this is the most important one, is manifest good grades for yourself. Now, when I say manifest, is you need to speak it into existence. Tell yourself you passed already. Tell yourself you already got 70s and 80s. That's what I did when I was grade 11, because I was studying with a really bad attitude. But my sister always told me, Inga, if you want something, you must kind of manifest it into the air. But so definitely manifest it. So when you're studying, say to yourself, I already passed the paper. I already got 70. I already got 80. There isn't a very big chance that you might get 80, but it will help you to study better and you will write better also. So tell yourself before you study, I passed that test already. That way it will help you study a lot. It helped me also. And on that note also, is study with a good attitude. Don't have a negative attitude when you study, because if you study with a negative attitude, then it's not even gonna, there's no point to study also, because when you study, you need to be in a good enough mood to study. Because if you're in a bad mood, then you're not gonna learn anything. Because if you realize people who are upset in class, they either lay on their arms or they'll just to themselves. They don't pay attention to the work. I know I can't do that. If I'm upset, if I'm angry, if I'm sad, then I can't pay attention to the work. So definitely study in a good mood. And then 7th is stay hydrated. This is so important. Lots of doctors speak about it. I spoke to my doctor. She said it is important as well. And I've watched a lot of YouTube videos where they said it is important to stay hydrated when you study. Now, why to do this is because hydration helps with brain function. Now, I read something on Google and it said that your brain cells lose efficiency. And one study in the US found that drinking water improved memory and focused attention. So definitely drink water, and also green tea, because green tea helps a lot, and I mean a lot with brain function. That's why I always drink green tea. I'm kind of obsessed with it now, and you'll see that when I study, I always have a big mug of green tea. I actually want to show you my mug. Here's it. Like, I have this mug. It's really big. It's my favorite, but it's lovely for green tea because I can have a lot of it, and it's really healthy too, and it's good for your body as well. So definitely drink water or green tea. Just keep up on fluids, and also try not to drink too much sodas and cool drink and stuff, because cool drink is really bad for you. I don't even drink it anymore. And then 8th is be comfortable in the environment that you are in. And when I say be comfortable, it's wear comfortable clothing, because you're studying at home, you're not going to a fashion show. So wear a hoodie, wear a jersey, wear sweats, wear anything you want to. Like right now, I'm filming this barefoot and I'm so comfortable, because being barefoot just makes you feel more free. It gives a sense of freedom. So be more comfortable when you're studying. And also keep your room clean. Wherever you're studying, keep the environment clean. Because if I had to see dirt around me while I'm studying, it makes me lose a lot of focus, and my focus is more on how dirty my room is. So clean your room first. And being in a clean environment, it just helps everything. Like, being in a clean environment makes everything better. And then after that is do practice tests. Now this is when you can start the writing process. When you do practice tests, it helps a lot, because you prepare yourself to write down questions and answers that are sort of exam based. Because when you are studying, all good and well, but also you have all the knowledge in your head, but you don't know exactly how to write it down as exam format. Because you might know things already, but you don't know how to write them down. So it's important to focus on the writing skills. So only do the practice test once you've understood all the work already. So definitely do practice tests. And then the last step is, like I mentioned, all those other things, is be positive. Now, I've mentioned this already, but being positive really helps a lot, because bad energy, like, it affects your studying a lot. If there's bad energy in your house, if there's bad energy within you, then you are not going to do well, you aren't going to study well. So be positive, meditate, pray, all the things that I say. Just keep a good attitude. That is really important. So that is all that I have for you today. No, I actually have one. Sorry, I have one more, sorry. The last one is study from the textbook instead of your notebook. This is the biggest and most important step ever. The textbook is so much more helpful. Ever since I was grade 8 all the way until now, I always study from the textbook because I trust the terminology more. Now, why I say this is because with your notebook, it's a more summarized and a more short, simplified version. Nothing wrong with that. But the thing is that they might ask you questions in the exam and you might not know how to answer it, because maybe you've never seen that word that they're using before. It happened a lot. That's why I started using the textbook. So definitely use the textbook. So how you can do it is you first take your textbook. Let's say, for example, because I'm studying for my learners now, so yes, I use this textbook right here. And what you do is that you read the textbook, you study the textbook, and then when you use the textbook, it's much more better because you know all the terminology. And once you are done with that, then you go to your notebook. because your notebook has a simplified version of what you learned. So what you do is you use your textbook first, and then that way you know all the work in there, and then you can just read the simplified version. And you'll see when you're reading in your notebook, you understand all the work already because you already know it. You just know it in a more simplified version, so it's not so difficult for you to learn it. So those are all the tips I have for you today, but I will make a part 2 of this video because I have a lot more and I'm doing a lot more research on it. But please let me know if you like this video and let me know if it helps you as well. And one more thing, this isn't really a tip, but it's just something for thought, is if you are struggling with the subject, be honest about it. Because if you are going to lie and say you know the subject well, but you know you're struggling, you are not going to make any progress, and no one wants to stay in a struggling state. So if you are struggling, be open about it. There's nothing embarrassing about struggling with the subject. We all struggle with something. Like, to be honest with you, when I was in grade 11, I struggled with maths a lot in the beginning. In term 1, I got a 56%. In term 2, I got a 48%. But then I told my mommy, I was open, I told her, I don't understand the maths so well. So my mommy, she signed me up with a tutor. And guess what? For my term 3, I got a 94%. That was really a big jump for me. I was really shocked. And it just showed that honesty is really the best policy. So definitely be honest. If you're struggling, do not be embarrassed to admit that you're struggling, because we all struggle with something. Life isn't life if you haven't struggled in it. So please be honest with yourself, be honest with your parents, be honest with everybody who is involved with your studying life. Is be honest. Do not struggle. Do not stay in the struggle. If you are struggling, be open about it. There's nothing embarrassing about it. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it really helps you. Let me know how it works for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.